You didn't have a bad month. You had a bad year, spread out across 12 bad months. Car repair in March. Birthday gifts in June. Annual subscription renewal in September. None of that was a surprise, yet every time it hit your credit card. Here's the myth. An emergency fund is supposed to catch everything unexpected. But most of these costs aren't emergencies at all. They're predictable expenses you just forgot to plan for. That's the real problem. Not that money's tight, but that irregular expenses get treated like emergencies, so they quietly rack up interest instead of getting saved for in advance. And with average credit card rates sitting above 20% this year, financing a $200 car repair can end up costing you a lot more than $200. The fix is a tool called a sinking fund. It's not complicated, and you don't need a budgeting app to start one. Step 1. List every expense that isn't monthly but is still predictable. Think car maintenance, holiday gifts, annual insurance premiums, birthdays, and yearly subscriptions. Step 2. Estimate the yearly total for each one. Even a rough guess based on last year's spending is good enough to start. Step 3. Divide that yearly total by 12. That's the small amount you set aside every single month, before the expense ever shows up. Step 4. Open a separate savings account, or use labeled envelopes inside one account, so each fund is tracked on its own, instead of blending into your regular checking balance. Step 5. When the expense actually arrives, you pay yourself back from the fund, instead of reaching the credit card. No debt, no stress, no surprise. A simple example. Car maintenance averages around $600 a year for a lot of drivers. That's just $50 a month sitting quietly in its own account. When the repair bill comes in, you're not scrambling. You're just transferring money you already planned for. The same logic works for holiday spending. If you typically spend $800 in December, saving about $67 a month means December costs you nothing extra. This is the difference between people who feel like money controls them and people who feel in control of their money. It's rarely about income. It's about whether expenses were expected. Start small. Pick just 1 or 2 categories this month, not 10. A car fund and a gift fund are a solid place to begin. Automate it if you can. A recurring transfer of even $20 or $30 a week removes the temptation to skip it when things feel tight. Review your funds every few months. Costs change, and your sinking funds should get adjusted instead of left on autopilot forever. This video is general education, not personalized advice, so adjust these numbers to fit your own expenses and income. If this helped you look at your budget differently, subscribe for more practical money tips, and try setting up your first sinking fund this week.